Hi, everybody. My name is Phil, and today I am really excited about who I get to interview today. Today, I am interviewing Caleb Williamson. Caleb Williamson is a former SFC in the U.S. Army and was a part of the 2nd Ranger Battalion for 15 years. He has deployed 12 times overseas with the regiment. Currently, he trains Navy SEALs on the West Coast, right? The West Coast SEAL teams
Yes, correct.
in explosive breaching and tactics along with several other SOF units, and he currently resides in Prescott. It's kind of crazy how many special forces guys we actually have in Prescott. This is not the town to take over for sure. He's been my patient on T replacement for quite a while, and I consider him a friend. And I'm really excited to kind of talk about testosterone replacement and really how it relates to veterans, because you are the perfect picture of that. And I treat a ton of veterans with notoriously low testosterone. A lot of people don't understand that there is a correlation between high cortisol levels and low testosterone. And we see that across the board, notoriously low testosterone in soldiers. So, Caleb, thank you for being here today. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
All right. I have a lot of questions to ask you. Just feel free to answer whatever you'd like, and anything that you don't like, I'll edit out.
No worries.
So, if you can kind of tell me about your military experience, kind of after 12, you said you deployed 12 times, a lot of times. What would you
Yeah.
feel are some of the biggest mental and physical challenges you faced during and after your service?
Well, being in a Ranger regiment, it was, I mean, you're switched on all the time from start to finish, especially during the early 2000s. With 9/11, everything happened. It was country was at war again, and it was kind of like we had to knock the dust off really fast, and so it created a really extremely high tempo of everything from aggressiveness to operations, and the training reflected as such. And over the time, I came in right in 2003, and I was actually going to be a Green Beret, but then I had some friends that were in Ranger Regiment, and they told me, "Hey, if you want to go do the fun stuff, go Ranger." And so I did, and never looked back, and I don't regret a minute of it. Went in 2003, basic training, airborne. From airborne, we went to what was called RIP at the time, Ranger Indoctrination Process. It is now known as RAST, Ranger Assessment and Selection Phase. They have upgraded and made it a better place. Back in my days, it was more of a punch in the face and how bad do you want to be here type of things. And yeah, after that, was assigned to 2nd Ranger Battalion up at Fort Lewis, Washington, and I was literally there from the end of 2003 to 2018. And then after that, I moved back to Prescott, Arizona, and did 12 combat deployments. I got 6 to Iraq, 5. I got 6 to Iraq, about 4 to Afghanistan, and 1 to Syria. So yeah, I did a little bit, and then 2 little surges in between to another little place. I can't say too much about.
Well, thank you for your service, Caleb.
No worries.
Never served, but I worked at the VA for a while and served people at the VA, and y'all are my heroes, and really appreciate you, your service.
No, no worries. It was kind of a selfless thing. My whole family had done it before, and it just given the climate and the time, it just it seemed like the thing to do. I was like, didn't want to miss out on the calling, so to speak. So
So you had a very stressful, demanding career. What would you say? Now I'm going to tie this to low testosterone because what were some of the first signs that you noticed that you might have low testosterone?
off on it, I mean, it's pretty easy. Like you just feel unmotivated, like sleepy, lethargic. Like I mean, I know 20-year-olds feeling like an old man, so to speak, and it just comes on, and then from there it starts to affect everything from your mood, your demeanor, and then that leaks into your performance, and it's yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but it's in my point, it's to the point of it's egregious. To the point, especially with what they ask of their young operators and everything, and the high stress like you said, I mean, from the moment we're there, whether it's we not even in combat, just the high level of everything, we have cortisol, adrenaline pumping through us, probably at least 12 hours of the day. And that's on a, just a simple work day, simple showing up. That's not even training. So yeah, I've seen it across the board. I mean, I've witnessed it, I've felt it, I've gone through it, and I'm still witnessing it with guys out there, and they're telling me of their struggles and how hard it is. And I just think it's one of those things that have been it a bad rep. It's been blacklisted, so to speak, by the powers that be. Whether I'm not trying to be a conspiracy, big pharma, anything like that. Females, look, they can get anything they want for their hormones or anything like that. But one guy says, "Hey, can you check out my hormones? I feel a little imbalanced." It's like they immediately associate it with steroids or something like that, or some super kind of performance enhancing drugs, and it's ridiculous, to be honest.
So, do you remember what your initial levels were?
Oh, I was low 200s. I think it was like, what was it, 208? I can't remember. It was somewhere low. I remember that, or it might even been lower than that, I think.
Yeah. So critically low. So normal testosterone is between 3 and 1200, and most docs they don't account for age. 300 being a 90-year-old Joe Biden guy, and 1200 being I don't know, 18-year-old guy. So we're even below that,
Yep.
and that's severely low, and it is so consistent among special forces guys. I see it across the board. I've seen it so much, and so I love that you're willing to come on and you're willing to talk about it, because I think you're going to bless some guys.
Yeah.
So since starting testosterone replacement, how has your overall energy and performance been, both mentally and physically? Has it changed any? Are there any surprising improvements?
Well, yeah, actually, I mean, I can't say enough. Like, I was living what I thought was the norm, and till you showed me exactly how bad and low I was like, oh wow. And since then, I cannot say enough. I mean, I just hit 47 this year. I am feeling like I'm in my 20s again. I mean, everything from physically to motivation to I am starting 3 new businesses. It has just helped out so much. We were just back this whole last week at Second Ranger's 50th anniversary this whole week, which was really awesome. And everybody I knew from the time I was a 20-year-old to the time I got out, they were there, even my mentors to my young guys. And everyone said just like, "Oh my God, look at Caleb, you look amazing." They're like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Man, it's no secret. It's no secret drugs. It's like, check your testosterone levels, guys." And everyone is concerned about it. It's out there. And I'm here to tell you that it's just helped out amazing. Everything from my personal relationships to my physical well-being. It has done me wonders.
Man, I love to hear that. And that goes to my second question. Advice to fellow soldiers. A lot of veterans struggle with the similar issues, but might not know about low testosterone. What advice would you give them about looking after their health and considering TRT as an option?
Yeah, I would absolutely tell them 100%, especially if you were, well, I'm not even going to say even in the special operations world, because I know plenty of regular Marines, just any service member out there, their levels are egregiously low, and they're I don't know, federal government, whatever it may be, that their doctors, everything else, no matter what branch it is, they can't help them because they actually get a urinalysis for it, which is insane. I don't even know how that's a thing. So all they can say is, yes, please go have your blood levels checked. Yes, do your cancer screenings, do all of that. It is so important. All of us trying to be tough guys all these years. There is nothing demasculating about health and doing your checks and taking care of yourself. Don't let anyone ever shy you away from it. And yeah, I would say 100%. go check it out. If the VA does not help you like they should, it is worth every penny. It is worth everything to go out and find people like you, Phil. I know Navy SEALs who go to similar people in San Diego, and they do it on their side, fellow contractors, and every single one of them are saying the same thing I am. It's like you said, it's not magic, it's not voodoo, it's nothing. It's just, hey, we're concerned about this and we're looking into it, and it's a simple fix. There is no voodoo behind it. It's no miracle drug. It's no experimental drug. It's our hormones, guys. That's it.
So on that, Caleb, you're training some of the best SOF units in the world, training them in explosive breaching and tactics. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, how you kind of got into that and kind of what you do? I mean, I find it
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Well,
Little
It's a
town.
funny, it's a funny thing. In Ranger Regiment, we usually pick one specific task, and then that's our whole thing. Some other units, they have multiple tasks, like they can be a air traffic controller, medic, and a sniper per se. But usually, we just pick one thing, and that's our specialty, and we go with it. And when I got stuck in, I was stuck as a Gustav gunner, which is an anti-tank weapon. It's a recoilless rifle, 84 millimeter rocket launcher that you can reload. I got stuck there, and it makes lots of booms. And yeah, I've ate a lot of overpressure and concussion type stuff like that. I started with that. And then for some reason, someone's wisdom, they're like, "Hey, Williamson, you're used to stuff going, boom. So hey, you're going to be the platoon breacher." And from the platoon breacher, I went to the company breacher. And then from the company breacher, I went to the battalion master breacher. And then from the battalion master breacher, I went to the regimental master breacher. On that journey, I just started from learning everything from field expedient explosives to things I can't talk about still to this day, to X-ray dodics. And then I'm still involved with it. And now I'm know most of the actual companies that make the explosives, like Ensign and Brickford and Namo, who do stuff for the space shuttles, work with Elon Musk, everything like that. I nerd out on that stuff, and I always have. And I do everything from explosive, thermal, mechanical. Yeah. So torches, and yeah, there's science behind it, and there's a lot of let's try this and see what happens. And I just happen to have a lot of experience in the let's try this and see what happens department. So it's keeping me pretty relevant.
That's like every boy's dream. Every boy's dream is to blow things up, and you're getting to play with some amazing government toys. So that's awesome, man.
When I tell the VA, they're like, "What do you still do for a living?" And I'm like, I still blow stuff up. And they're just like, they just shake their head and laugh at me.
That's great. And you said you're starting 3 businesses. Are you able to talk about what those are?
Yeah, most of them. One is kind of some AI stuff I can't go too much into because I have some NDAs signed for it. But up here in Prescott, we are out on some silver mining land, and we are trying to get the White Spar Institute going. And hopefully by March 1st is our proposed opening date, and it's a training facility. We will have up to 250 acres and up to about 5,000 meters for shooting. We were going to start with sniper contracts, working some local Arizona and military contracts here. And then some of the SEAL guys are going to come play with us here shortly. And I'm also doing counter IED and drone out there, which I'm trying to get done by March 1st, but it might be a little longer because I'm really trying to make that state of the art given the current times and enemy TTPs and stuff. But I'm working with Navy, EOD, local people, and everything to get that going to essentially make a field of dreams so I can pay my friends good money to come train the future generations.
That's amazing, man. And you're doing it all here in Prescott area. Incredible, helping the local economy, and man, you're keeping us safe. So thank you.
This is a great place. It really is. Came back here from Washington, and yeah, I'm not going anywhere else. This is home.
I love hearing that. And how has your experience been with Tri-City Men's Health? Has it been a net positive? So
Yeah, you guys, I mean, I'm not trying to talk you guys up too much or nothing, but I like I said, every time I see you and Tim, I can't thank you guys enough. And I mean, everything from, I mean, I'm sure my kids will come and thank you here shortly. Like they see how happy I've been lately. Just I I didn't realize it till I realized it, and then I literally saw it, and it wasn't me seeing it per se; it was other people per se, and like I just got back to how I normally do things, feeling normal, better at the gym every day again, and then next thing you know, people are just saying like, "Hey, man, you're so much happier. God, you're looking good. It, your demeanor's better. Everything like this. You got more positive outlook, and you're just killing it." And I'm just like, "Oh wow!" And then you look back and I can't say how much personally thank you guys personally. Like it's made a difference, like night and day. Yeah, I feel like a new person. I really do.
Giving me chills, man. Like, this is what I see on a daily basis, men's lives being changed and for the better. And that's what we're trying to get out. We're trying to change the stigma that being on testosterone is a bad thing. Being get is a bad thing. No, I'm a man. I don't need to get that. I don't have any problems in that area. And you might not have problems in like the sexual area, but you might have problems with brain fog. You might have exhaustion. You might have problems with motivation, just even like getting out of bed in the morning and just get yourself checked. Let's get your symptom checked. Let's have the conversation at least, and that doesn't cost you anything. Just come in and have the conversation with us on what's going on. I want to get into your kitchen. I want to know what's going on because then I can help you. And I feel like, Caleb, we've given you a new lease on life, somebody that has served our country for and put your body through hell for years and years and years and years. And I've been blessed to see you change. And now people are like, holy smokes, man, are you eating iron? What the heck's going on with you? And we're not taking you to crazy levels. We're just taking you to the
No,
kind of normal. And
exactly.
and replacing what your body naturally produces. It's not like we're going nuts on you. And so I just I commend you for having those difficult conversations with me and letting me into your life to kind of help you.
Hey, I appreciate it. Like I said, yeah, I literally feel like I have a new lease on life. Like and to the side, I am not doing anything extra or crazy. I am doing exactly as you told me to do, prescribed. I am taking testosterone. I just take vitamins, try to eat clean, your protein every now and then, and that's it. I'm not nothing else. No extra anything else. And yeah, it has made all the difference. And not just myself, others have noticed, and I'm an advocate for it now, and I'm out. I will do whatever it takes to help you guys break that stigma because I preach about it all this time. I feel I see 23-year-olds with testosterone levels down in the 300s, and they won't do anything for them. And it's to me that is just that's the wrong answer. So
It's a travesty. They don't want to pay for it. That's all it comes down to. They don't want
100.
don't want to pay for it. And I think if they just thought about it and started checking these guys and just bringing them to optimal level, our whole fighting force would be different.
Yeah,
I just think it would be like the best thing that we could do. And
yeah,
we could set the bar for other countries by
yeah.
having the force that of optimized men on testosterone. We're just optimizing normal hormones. That's all we're doing. Pay for it.
I think one of the biggest stigmas is like, oh, you're on testosterone, you're going to turn into a hothead, especially being someone in soft. Phil, I'm here to. I am the most happiest, laid back guy on the planet now, and I am so happy to feel that way. It's when you don't have the testosterone, you're low, you are quick to anger, snappy, everything else, and they don't get it. And it's common sense, it's black and white, it's science, and I don't still trying to figure out why they're not doing some more about it. It's a game changer for sure.
It's all comes down to the money. Everything comes down to the money, man. They don't want to pay for it. That's really what it is. Number one. Number two, I think it's I have to be careful because I don't want to get myself in too much trouble.
Yeah.
But I think that's basically what it is. And if people are willing to have the conversations and they want to get better, like I'm here to help you do that. I'm signing up for that. And if you give me a chance, I will work with you until that happens. And I'm passionate about it. And I appreciate you being willing to talk about this stigma and be authentic. A lot of people have a hard time just having the conversation. And so
Yeah.
I think you're gonna bless some people, brother. I really do.
Thank you. I feel like you guys have given me a second chance, and I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, and you mentioned, and I mentioned it a couple in my other interviews that I've done. You mentioned the stigma of people saying that you're going to become a monster on this. And
Yeah.
what I like to tell people is, if you're a nice guy, you're just going to be nicer, and
Yeah.
that's like what it comes down to. Now, if you're a mean jerk and we overshoot you, then you can kind of get a little aggressive, and I've seen that too, but it's very, very rare. I would say 2%, 2%
Mhm.
maybe. And I just have to dial those guys back a little bit and have
Yeah.
that conversation for them to be more cognizant of that, because it's a real thing, but that's usually only when we overshoot and the guy's already a jerk. So we gotta, but
Yeah.
you're a nice guy, you're generally a nice guy, and it just makes you nicer. And you said that this is impacting your relationship with your kids. Now you're a dad. Can you kinda, touch on that a little bit and what they've
Yeah.
noticed?
Well, well, now as of 3 months ago, I'm a grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 21-year-old is getting married and made me a grandfather. But yeah, it has been so noticeable to my daughters. They like they said, they just notice I am happier, I not so gloomy, negative attitude, and they're just like, it's, well, for lack of a better word, they're just like, Dad, it's like you're rebuilding, starting your life over again, like in your 40s. And I'm like, yeah, it feels that way. And yeah, I feel like I have a new lease on life. Like I said, it's just been good. I've been, I just feel more connected to them and stuff. And it's just been great. And even relationships, my current girlfriend, everything like that is just, she seems a more down to earth. I'm more there. I'm more emotionally involved with her and everything. And it is, yeah, I can't say enough, especially on that aspect. It really doesn't feel like it's you against the world anymore. Kind of. It's good.
And what I tell guys, life is too short to not have a great quality of life, right? To not have that
Absolutely.
good, to not be able to perform for your kids, your family, your girlfriend, all
Yeah.
those things, right? And so it doesn't. It's just net positive all the way around. Being on testosterone, and it's healthy. It truly
Yeah.
is. And I love that you are willing to get on here and kind of be vulnerable with us. And really, I think you're going to bless some guys. So thanks for your time.
No, no. Anything I can do for you guys, it has been amazing. From the health aspect to the family to the emotions. Yeah, both physically and emotionally. It has helped my life greatly. I cannot say enough. And I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart.
Our pleasure, brother. Well,
Yeah.
it's not over today, and hopefully it will
Yep.
never be over. So,
Nope.
just around this interview, I'm gonna end it now, and then I just want to talk to you for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I finished the call with Caleb, and we just kept talking, and he mentioned a couple things that he thought was very important, and I wanted him to go ahead and talk about those things, and then we'll end this interview.
Yeah, a real thing I feel bad for not bringing up is why, like I said, why I was up there for the 50th anniversary of Second Ranger. These conversations came up about testosterone and like, hey, how good you're looking, man, you're doing good. And literally every single person has done good in one way or the other. But the guys that came up and said, man, you look great. And I'm like, you too, blah, 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 blah. The testosterone conversation came up. And 95% of the time, guess what? They either had a doctor such as yourself in whatever state they were in, or they were doing some form of testosterone replacement. And then you literally could tell the guys that were a good friend of Fields of mine. I could see it. He just had that glow. He was a little overweight. Just had I mean, you could just tell like the baggage still on his shoulders. And it's just like, man, you gotta cast that off. And he's like, well, why are you so doing good? Me, several people, like I can give names. My buddy Carbo, Purdy, God Cresto, Ferrucci, every single one of those guys I talk to is doing testosterone replacement, and they do not look like they have aged today, and they are still out there just killing it. And I mean, I could go and talk for hours of what they're doing. Some I can't talk about, and yeah, I mean, Zach Carbo is a squirrel suit free fall designer for Red Bull and other companies, including the government, designing free fall shoots. And he is the same age as me, and he he looks the same, and he attributes it all to the same. So I just thought that was important, because not only have I seen myself, I see others, and everyone that has been doing good for us, especially in those high stress environments. Those guys, I found out the majority of them are doing some kind of testosterone replacement because they got educated and they figured it out.
One thing you mentioned, like you had this conversation with guys, and you mentioned one thing that I thought was pretty potent. You said, "Brother, I want to walk you down there right now."
Yeah.
And if can you say that again? Because I think that was powerful for me. Like when you said that just now when we went off the call. So
Yeah.
can you what you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, I literally just, I mean, it was a good friend of mine, Fields, and I could tell he was, it wasn't, he wasn't drinking heavily. You could just tell he wasn't. It was just, he just was still carrying that baggage on him, and the weight. And I can almost identify low tests in my type of guys just by looking at them. And it got to the point where I was like, "Hey, brother, I'm telling you, this is such a game changer for you, your wife, your kids, your career, everything, man. I literally want to walk you down there right now, get your blood test, and I want you to give me a call after the first month and tell me I'm a liar, because you won't. I mean, 100%, I guarantee it." Yeah, so it's so important. And I mean, when I see these guys like that, it's important to me, and I just want to do more to get our guys back to normal. And the whole veteran thing with the stigma. I mean, just as much as testosterone, there's reasons we're like this. And then but we can be really great people in the community. It's just we've been used pretty good, and we just need to get our health back. That's it.
And ridden hard and put away wet. That's what
Yeah.
I like. All
Yeah.
right, man. I'm in this interview. Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate you.
you.